Hi, this is IKQ with another video review. This will be a short video review on the Microsoft Sidewinder X3 mouse. I was curious to see how the Microsoft gaming mice felt like, so I bought this one secondhand for 75 Malaysian dollars, just to see how it feels like compared to my G5. My intention was actually to replace my G5 from a gaming role to more of a general web browsing role on my other computer. So as you can see, the mouse has 5 buttons, one on this side, one on this side, these two, and the mouse scroll wheel button. Now at the bottom it's simple, you know, it's just a laser and mouse pads. It's quite large, but not as large as the G3, which you can see over here. It's quite large. It has an additional pad on the side here. Mouse feet or skates as they call them, for stability. Not to mention the G3 is actually larger, as you can see, than the X3. The G5 is larger than the X3. Sorry. Only has one side button, unlike the X3, which has 2. The X3 is an ambidextrous mouse, so left-handed and right-handed people can use it. The tracking is very good on the mouse. On the top here you can see there's 3 DPI switches, 400, 800 and 2000. Most of the time you'll be floating around the 800 and 400 for gaming. I'm not sure what the 2000 is for, because honestly speaking it just feels very the mouse movement feels very artificial at 2000 unless you have a super high resolution LCD. Okay, so let me just say what I like about the X3 and what I don't like about the X3. It has rubber sides on it, which is quite nice, similar to the G5. Not as thick as the G5's coating, but it's quite nice to hold. The mouse skates, feet, or pads, as I like to call them, are quite smooth. So there's no friction or gripping. The tracking is not bad, but that's about it. Well, the mouse, of course, most important thing is the mouse buttons. Yes, they have a very clean click. So, you know, they don't sound cheap and they have a very clean click. Snap, snap, snap. What I don't like about the mouse is, because it's ambidextrous, they have the side button on both sides, and they've positioned it exactly the same distance from the thing. Which, as you can see, my hand is it's not a small hand, but it's not an incredibly big hand. But when I put it on top of the mouse, you can see my fingers are here on top of the mouse button. I can't reach it with my thumb. So if I want to use the side button for like in a Modern Warfare 2 for an assigned key binding, like a knife attack or grenade throw. Actually, I use the side buttons for grenade throw, throwing the grenades, so I keep my finger on the trigger so I can squeeze it and keep the crosshair on target after I throw it. So anyway, the point is, the only way I can use the side button is that I have to use my other finger and squeeze it here, which is inconvenient. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Oh yeah, and the scroll wheel has a very long float to click. So I'm going to show you, when I scroll it, how long it takes to move from one click to another click. So I'm going to thumb on top here. Okay, again. That's one click. Whereas the G5 has a very short float to click. See? So basically I can get a lot more action out of it. Now you can say you can increase the the number of pages per click for the scroll wheel to from 3 to 6, but you know that still is not the point, because when you're turning it, it will not click until it passes a certain distance. So you still got that long float time, but just to get that jump. So it's quite a design flaw in my opinion. It's not nice. Sometimes it just sits there in the middle of the thing while clicking both ends. So that's about it for my review of the X3. It's not a bad mouse, it's quite a decent mouse. I would not recommend paying retail price for this. You might you might stand a bad chance. Just well, you'd be better served to get it second hand like I did. As for a gaming mouse, yeah, you know, if you forget about these two buttons here, just focus on it as a 3-button gaming mouse. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it works perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It has fantastic tracking. DAP is generous on the last button for 2000, but like I said, you won't be seeing any use from 2000 DPI. Sorry, not DAP, DPI. You won't see much use for that. You only see mostly use in the 800 DPI, or maybe even the 400, depending if you're doing precision sniping or whatever. It is not exactly a flawless mouse, but you know, what you pay is what you get. And I paid 75 Malaysian dollars for it. So for that amount which I paid for the second-hand mouse, I'm quite pleased with it. And I probably will still use it for Modern Warfare 2. Quite exclusively, and maybe I might retire my G5 over to internet browsing, or I might just bring back my G5 and make this guy my internet browsing mouse. I have no idea. Still undecided, but that's it. Okay, just to let you guys know, I'll be getting hold of a NVIDIA GT 240 card from Galaxy later this week, so I'll probably review that, show you some benchmarks and such. So yes, you won't be only seeing my fingers, you'll be actually seeing some benchmark scores, and maybe even a frap capture of it playing Modern Warfare 2 or not, depending on how I feel about that, or if I have the spare hard drive to put it in. But yeah, expect to see a review of the GT 240 from NVIDIA. And this is IQQ signing off.